The Ortler stands at 3,905 meters and is the highest mountain in South Tyrol, as well as one of the most prominent peaks in the Eastern Alps. Its large glaciers make it easy to spot from far away and give the mountain its unique, striking appearance. For me and my family, the Ortler holds a special significance. It was the highest and most imposing mountain my grandfather climbed back in the 1960s and early 70s. And he's the one who inspired my love for mountaineering. In early August we started our climb from the village of Sulden, following the classic normal route. The path leads to the Payerhütte and then continues along the northern ridge, followed by the massive Ortler Glacier all the way to the summit. This video captures our climb to the top of the iconic Ortler. Sulden is a small mountain village well known for ski tourism, but also serving as a gateway to the Ortler and many other nearby peaks, including the Königspitze and Monte Zebrù. Our first goal was to reach the Tabarettahütte for a light lunch, so we packed our gear for tomorrow's climb and followed the path that gently wound uphill through a peaceful larch forest, leading us out of the valley. After gaining just a few hundred meters in elevation, we reached the tree line where the imposing north face appeared before us, wrapped in mist and marked by the remaining patches of the mild glacier. Far ahead, on the rugged ridge, we could already make out the Payerhütte, situated right next to the steep rock wall. Before reaching the final steep path up to the Tabarettahütte, the trail crossed a vast moraine field, an area where we were told large amounts of ice still lie quietly hidden beneath a thick layer of loose rocks. And as the sky began to clear, we reached the Tabarettahütte, located just below the Tabaretta Pass. The hut is a starting point for climbs of the north face, as well as a via ferrata route to the Tabarettahspitze. We took the opportunity to enjoy some refreshing drinks and the delicious local cuisine before continuing on. From this point on, the trail became noticeably rougher and more rocky, and from the Tabarettahütte, the Payerhütte was already clearly visible, sitting about 500 vertical meters above us on the steep rock face. The path continued along the northern slope, gradually ascending to the Bärenkopfscharte, which lies at 2,850 meters. Step by step, we made our way into the high alpine terrain. And just below the Bärenkopfscharte, the Ortler revealed itself for the first time, impressive and covered in ice. From here, the route followed the ridge directly toward the Payerhütte. Partly secured with steel chains, we continued along a beautiful mountain path as the Ortler rose majestically before us. And in the distance, the sound of motorcycles winding their way up the Stilfster Joch reached our ears. And by early afternoon we happily arrived at the Payerhütte, giving us plenty of time to relax, meet our guides, drink some hot chocolate and enjoy the hut's tasty cakes. The Payerhütte was built back in 1875 by the German Alpine Club and still feels very original and rustic. So unlike many modern and futuristic mountain huts, it gives you a real sense of the early days of alpinism. I'm always amazed by the incredible food you get at South Tyrolean mountain huts. And this time was no exception. For dinner we were treated to a delicious meal of pasta, beef goulash with dumplings and tiramisu for dessert. As the sun went down, we relaxed outside and enjoyed the view all the way to the Eastern Alps, with peaks like Weißkugel and Similaun in sight. And later we headed to our rooms with cozy bunk beds to get some rest before the summit day. At the first light of dawn we set out for the summit after a quick breakfast at 4:45 am. The unsettled weather from the previous day had given way to clear skies with stars shining brightly above us, and although it was very cold, the air was calm and still. In the past, the route used to lead almost directly from the hut across a now retreated glacier to the main Ortler glacier. However, today the summit day begins with a section of ridge climbing. Although it covers only about 200 meters of elevation, the terrain is varied and complex, sometimes going up, sometimes down, with a few steeper rock sections secured by fixed ropes.
Bergfink.
Not far away from the glacier we came to the crux of the rocky section, known as the Weiberschreck, or something like woman's repeller in English. So named because it's easier for those with long legs, a short step that actually, with proper foot placement, can be climbed quite easily. From there we moved on to the final Via Ferrata section which, now in the growing light of dawn, led us onto the glacier. Once we reached the glacier, we took a moment to eat some Snickers, have a drink and then put on our crampons. Most of the elevation gain still lay ahead and the massive glacier stretched out before us, with its deep crevasses and steep ice falls glowing in the beautiful colors of the morning. The first part of the glacier ascent was quite steep, but thanks to fresh snow from the past weeks it was still easy to climb. Our initial goal was a prominent ridge above the Lombardy bivouac at 3,350 meters, where the warm sun was waiting for us. From there we continued our ascent with massive seracs towering ahead at the glacier's northern edge. From that vantage point we could look deep down to the Ortler's north face, one of the most complex and dangerous routes on that mountain. We passed the seracs on the right and reached one final steep and exposed slope that required full concentration. But once again we were lucky with the snow conditions. The soft snow allowed us to easily kick steps and make steady progress. After that, the terrain gradually eased and transitioned into the wide Ortler plateau. In front of us lay the Ortler Eye, a broad glacier bulk standing between us and the summit. And for the first time we could now see the summit cross, which didn't seem all that far away anymore. So we continued our climb up the gently rising plateau toward the top of South Tyrol. By around 8 in the morning we reached the summit ridge and made our way toward the summit cross. Although clouds occasionally blocked the mountain panorama, the majestic neighboring peaks like the Königspitze, Monte Zebrù, the Eastern Alps with Weißkugel and Similaun, and even the Piz Bernina in the distance, peeked through from time to time. And below us, the Reschen Lake came into view, a place where I had admired the Ortler since I was a child. We stayed at the summit for a while, watching another group making their way up the Hintergrat toward the peak, a route I'd love to climb myself someday. To give them enough space at the summit, we started our descent shortly afterward. We began by descending the steep glacier again, which I found quite pleasant. Cheers to the soft snow. We took in the vast glacier landscape and the sweeping views down into the green valleys below. After that, we carefully made our way down the rocky ridge until we reached the Payerhütte again.